Okay, this is Fergie. Now, we had Fergie in some time ago, and he's had a great deal of time off due to the fact that people that owned him would be busy. They're busy folk, and so he's come back for a refresher, you know, just to bring him back. So he was bought by somebody from the original owners, and he's come back for a refresher. Now, that's, you know, everything I can tell you about him, really, because that's what I've been told. But I don't know whether he had an incident while he was away. But the interesting thing is that he hadn't done anything wrong. You know, the lady went down and drove him. She just said she thought he just needed to bring him back to where he was when he left here. So basically that's what we've done. But he's a lovely fell pony. I mean, he really is a nice chap. So, but also what we've done while he's been here is, during the time he's been here, just to bring him back up to standard, he's been broken for riding. You know, we do quite a few riding horses. People don't actually know that. We break quite a few for riding. Normally ride and drive, you know, obviously. They come here for driving, and, you know, if they want them broke for riding, we do that as well. So he's been broke for riding. You'll see it on his film when it goes up. You know, you'll see him being ridden. And the same things we do with, you know, in harness, we do, so they do all the arena, stand on the motorway bridge, all that type of thing, you know. They do all the same thing. So he was fine to break. I don't have any, I don't, you know, tell the lass that breaks them. I mean, Ree got on the pony first and rode him round the arena with his harness on. You know, just rode him round with that on, and, you know, got him used to everything that way, and there's a little bit of weight on the back. But Ree would be the first one to say her prowess is driving, not riding, although she, you know, she can ride, it's not a fool. But so the other lass then come along, Katie, and has taken him to a, you know, completely different level. So he's been out through the river, all the obstacles in the arena, over the bridge, you know, over the bridge through the tunnel, but over the, you know, the 303, the bridge that crosses over there. So he's done all, you know, everything you could ask him to do, more or less exactly the same. Now, people say, well, he's already done it in harness. The difference is, he's now got, you know, he's not, his vision is no longer restricted by blinkers, no longer restricted at all. So that makes a massive difference. If you think about it, or just look, you know, get a chart of the line of sight of a horse, it's very interesting. When you put blinkers on, in my estimation, you take away about 80% of its vision. 80% of its vision, that's a lot to, you know, to take out. So, and you're giving it 80% back. Now, that is not necessarily a good thing when it's been used to going on the public highway through all the, you know, all the stuff we have, all the scary stuff, doing all of those things blinkered up. It doesn't necessarily follow, as most people think, that when it can see everything, it could be much more concerned, you know, much more on its toes, well, frightened of stuff, obviously. So you have to school it and from its back, you know, and it's not used to that. I mean, this horse had never been ridden, just been driven, this pony. But he's a lovely pony, a real nice pony. A lot of people say, what a terrible day to go out on. No, it's a good day. Well, it's not a good day, it is terrible because you get soaking wet. We've been out 3 times this morning and got changed twice, you know, where we're actually soaked through. It's not too bad, the rain now, it's more a fine rain, but earlier on it was heavy rain. So go on, mate, but the road is entirely different place in the rain. You've got all the noise of the traffic, puddles they splash through. they can splash all over horses that go past, although the paddle might be on the other side of the road. And then you get, sometimes in real heavy rain, you'll get be right across the road. So obviously all good training. So you see there, these cars splashing in front. These are only tiny little puddles, but they'll be splashing in front. The water will be moving, you know, the surface of it. You see another one there coming by. So it's a good time, real good time, and a good education for us. Because you say to me, well, I wouldn't go out in the rain. Well, you might be out and you just get a thunderstorm, cloud burst, you don't know it's coming, and you get like flash floods up the road, you know, great puddles, and even right across the road. So I love this pony, I really do like him. He's a nice, well, I like them all, you know, they're all lovely in their own right, but I like this fella. He's a bit independent, he's got an opinion, which is no bad thing. Since he's been back, we put him in a pair, and obviously in single as he is today, but we put him in a pair because he was carrying a bit of weight. Well, not just a bit, quite a bit too much weight, and you've got to be careful. Obviously, it's like, obviously if you're, you know, getting yourself fit and you're starting off 2-3 stone overweight, you can't be doing too much, you know. You just got to go steady and build it up slowly. Well, that's what we've done with him now, and this trip we're doing now is going to be 12 mile. We've been down into Stockbridge, had a cup of coffee, and then, you know, making our way back now. But as I say, the road surface, you can't really hear it. GoPros, although they're good for filming in any weather, they don't really give you the sound of what the horse is experiencing. So you've got the tyre noise is, you know, massive. The splashing, there's a van just come past, then he was over that side and was splashing through the puddles. And it can be unnerving for us because our sound just hasn't heard before if he's not been out in the rain. And this is quite a fast road. It's a cut through, what they call it, a rat run, I think they used to. Come over, darling, it's a good boy. You know, a rat run, so you can get Arctics up here, big lorries, and people use it as a shortcut. So you can be quite heavy with traffic, or you don't know what's coming. Certainly get a lot of tractors, because both sides of the road, both ends of the road, is all farming country, and you've got big estates around here that you know, might have several large tractors, like when they're taking off chopping the maize for cattle feed, you could have 4 or 5 in a row pulling great big trailers, you know, just where we live they'll do that. Come up, baby. So there's a lovely one there, you could probably hear that, it come through. Wide tyres on that pickup make a tremendous noise as they come through and a splash as well, but he just goes on, he's happy, he takes no notice. And these noises, any noises that you introduce, or anything you introduce the horse to, visual or audio, are good. And people often say to me, why ever do you drag a metal sheet, like this lorry coming past now, making a lot of noise, different sound entirely, we take no notice at all. And like all our horses, we brake is just in a soft piece of rubber. Now people say to me, why do you do that? Well, if you're going to train a horse, yeah, what he needs is confidence in the driver behind, and you must give him confidence. So for instance, this red box we're coming up to now, I want him to go right over the sign in the middle of it. I don't want him to break line, I want him to go straight over it, so it doesn't exist, yeah? Now, obviously, when they first come, they don't want to do that, because, oh dear, what's this? I've never seen this before. So you've got to give them a little bit of time. So we might come out, there's a couple of them signs nearer home, but we might be out on a Sunday morning at certainly in the summer, we'd be out 6 o'clock in the morning before anyone's around, so that we can take the horses over and get used to it. So if they do move one side or the other, it's not a problem. But everything that they hear audio today and visual, it's got to be a good thing. the more you can show the horse while you're training it, the better. Now, obviously, when you've got an arena like we have, or you know, there's all sorts of different names for them, but basically a little training arena, we can put as many spooky things in there as we like. So I've got a lovely bus coming here, yeah? Beautiful. So there's the bus. I just dropped the reins, let him go on his own, right? And 2 cars. People say to me, well, you're crazy. No, I'm not crazy, but I understand horses. And I've been doing this many years. So I know this horse, I know what he'd do. You know, I know how far he is on his training, etc. And he can do that. Now, you say to me, well, you're crazy, you're endangering. I'm not endangering anybody because I understand what I'm doing. It's like someone that walks a tightrope. We look in awe, are amazed, you know, can't do it. And so we look and think, oh, you've got to be crazy, fancy doing that. Or someone, any sort of thing like that type of thing, you know, that people do. I'm not doing that to be, oh, look how clever I am. What I'm saying to you, look how calm and happy the horse is, yeah, under these funny circumstances. I'm making a lot of noise around them, or at least motor cars even. The noise off their tyres is loud. So, when you know the horse and you understand horses properly, I'm not telling anybody else to let the reins go and do that. Of course I'm not. It'd be absolutely diabolically stupid to do that. Yeah. And all he's got is a rubber bit in his mouth. But he's totally confident and happy in what I'm asking him to do. And I've said it 1,000 times. Safe, confident and happy in any sphere of harness work. We owe these horses that, to make them that way. To make them that way. That's what we owe them. Look at that plastic sheeting laid over that wall. We take no notice of it. They just get on with his job and he's perfectly happy. You know, he's probably thinking about, now when I get back, I shall have me short food. He'll give me that first. Well, Ree will. Ree will feed me my short food and then I'll have a big wedge of haylage. Yeah. And I'm going to eat that and that'll be lovely. That's probably what he's thinking about. He's certainly not thinking about where he is or the environment around him. You know, he's aware of it, but there's nothing there that's going to upset him or you know, in any way. And that's what we owe these. You know, if you're going to bring them out of the wild state, I'm not talking about field, certainly not talking about a field with a fence around it, where they poo, yeah, and they eat in the same place. That ain't, you know, the way they live. Or, you know, in the wild state, they poo one end and eat fresh grass in the front and keep moving. And the only things that stop them are, you know, things they can't cope with, like a big ravine, the mountains, dark forest, swamp, river. Other than that, they keep going. So, if we're going to take them out of that, then we've got to equip them to live in this world and be safe, confident and happy. And they've got to be happy, they're entitled to be. And if you look at your pony, I'll keep saying this as well, look at it as the motive power. You don't get in your motor car, I know I've said this loads of times, but you don't get in your motor car, turn it on, put it in gear and let it go, do you? Let it do what it likes. You drive it. We've got to drive this horse in the same way. So if you look at the pony, horse, team, whatever it might be, as the motive power, the engine, the rest of it is down to you to drive it safely so the horse is safe, confident and happy. Yeah? And there are things that will spook any horse, you know, even my old Rowley, God rest his soul, dear old friend of mine, my Rowley, upsets me to talk about him, to be honest, but my old Rowley and me, we've done thousands of miles together. He averaged, I think, you know, the average over the week was, you know, 28 mile a day. And his limbs and everything about him was perfect. What the poor chap suffered with being a grey horse was melanoma, and he had him under his tail, and then he had one come up, and he had them several places. We had one come up in his throat, and he started to breathe funny, and I knew that was the end. I tried to retire him, but he was just so unhappy, you know, retired. And it took a great deal of courage to, anyway, let him go. But he done some miles with me, and he was just like this pony. Just get on with his job. I'd set the pace, tell him what I want to do, and on he'd go. And he'd take, you know, about 40% of horses he'd help me with, of what we do. 40, maybe 50% of horses he'd help. Especially horses that was a bit overweight, you know. So he'd do the work, and they'd just come alongside him without actually doing any work and get nice and fit slowly. Come on, my baby, that's a good boy. So yeah, he's a real nice horse, is this one. Real nice pony. Good looking pony as well. And a nice movement on him, you know, he's got a nice rolling gait. And he'll go all day at this pace. I mean, he would have covered 2 mile now, coming up 3. When we get this next sign up here, is 3 miles from where, you know, from when we left. And it'll be 4 or 5 mile, 6 mile time we're home. And he's already been out. He's already been out and been up and down the high street. So come on, baby. And he'll just go along there as happy as you like. You don't worry about anything at all, because he feels safe, he feels confident, and he's happy to do it for me. And he's doing it with a soft rubber bit, so we've got no cantilever bit with a curved chain behind his jaw. People say to me, you know, what do they call it now? Pressure and yield. What it is pain. Make no mistake, if you put it on your forearm and twist the cantilever bit round, by that I mean a military reversible, Liverpool, Buxted, butterfly, any of them, all the same. Cantilever bit. Come on, my baby, you're a good boy. I've always thought this pony would look superb. I mean, seriously nice in a Pickering float, with a nice set of brown harness on him, you know, collar harness. He's beautifully made. Always lovely quarters on him, good big wide chest, deep in the girth, you know, plenty of lung room. You can see this day, you can see my breath as I'm breathing. You can hardly see a puff off him. And we've done these miles, you know. Lovely, lovely pony, he's a real nice pony. So the people that have got him now, he'll have a home for the rest of his life. I now look after him and care for him and get a great deal of pleasure out of driving him. So you see that pickup truck then just went in that, and you can't hear it as I say on this GoPro, but there's leaves and what's it mixed there in that little puddle. The noise it makes is so loud. If you wind down your window when it's raining one day, just listen. The noise, you know, wind down the window on your motor car, the noise is surprisingly how loud it is. Yes, so my old pony here is going on well. We've already driven 6 this morning. Oh, it's just coming, just afternoon coming now. And come on, baby boy. And we've got 4 more to do, and then we'll be finished. Well, we'll be finished then, and then we can muck out and feed them and wrap them up ready for bed. Come on, hey, good boy. But yeah, we're privileged and lucky to work with these.
I've been coming over to back and train Fergie to ride him for about 3 weeks now. Very sweet little pony. He's been going, obviously blinkered one day and non-blinkered another day. He's done very well. I'm very pleased with him. He can be a little bit spooky at certain different things in the hedgerows.
Like what, for instance? Like that log up the road, Katie. Yeah, that log up the road. I mentioned that when we was coming along. Yeah.
But if you just give him a little bit of reassurance, tell him it's okay, let him have a look, and then he'll walk on up to it and walk past, which is pretty normal for a freshly backed horse or pony. But yeah, he's very sweet. I'm very happy with how far he's come. He's good as gold in the traffic. Good as gold in traffic, and I think he's just going to need to be just reassured and enjoy him, and I think he'll be a true genuine little chap.